What is up, YouTube? Sorry, it's been a while. I know. Just been getting ready for the year to end here with work. Closing up, getting things put away. I promised you guys a winter loadout video. It's not perfect. It's not ideal for some, but for me, it works. It's been tested. I've tested it. It works for me. But let's get into it. So, you're gonna, if you live in a region, okay, where, let's say, it's predominantly winter. You have a short spring, a fairly short summer. You're gonna want a winter loadout. If you're like me, you live in the Midwest. It could be very sporadic. It could be very random. Um, and there's a lot of open fields, cornfields, what have you, and then you have forest in the mixture. Um, all white camouflage is not going to work, and here's the reason why. Let's say you're in a field, okay, and you're in a cornfield that's all white, snow on the ground, fresh powder, and then behind you is a forest. Well, if you're on flat land and so is, the enemy, say like a foreign invader, like the Chinese or something, um, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb if you're all in white. So, what do you do to break that up? Well, there's a couple things you could do. Look at yourself. So what you want to do, the best thing to do is have somebody take a picture of you. So you have your background, your foreground, and everything else in between. And then you want to kind of pick and choose which camouflage patterns you want to go with. Typically, since from your feet up to your waist, roughly, when you're on the ground level, you're going to see, that white snow, a little bit of breakup, like what have you. If you're wearing like a white camo, or a pure white, you should be good. But on top, you should have some kind of woodland breakup as well. Because if you're behind trees, or if trees are behind you, you'll blend in. There's the German snow camo, which I love. There's Russian snow camo, which is the same as the Germans, and you can make your own. It's not hard to do. I could do a video on that later. I actually did it by mistake. But a winter loadout and what that looks like. Well, for me, it doesn't really change much except the bag that I use. So let's say, things have gone south. Um, we have to bug out. We go to a bug out area. We're in the woods. You know, you're camping out, what have you. And let's say you got to go, I don't know, do a patrol or get supplies somewhere. Um, you're gonna want to have the gear for the conditions. You're gonna want fire. You're gonna want the water purification stuff to a degree. Don't get too crazy and out of control with the water stuff, because in the wintertime you'd be surprised. If you scoop up snow, you put it in your canteen, put it under your armpit will actually melt it and you'll be able to drink it, where it won't be too cold, where you'll do some damage to yourself. It'll be enjoyable. But if you're looking to kind of get away and kind of blend in with everything, there are some tricks you could do. Let's say your rifle, it's black. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? Well, there's a couple things you could do. Check it out. This is Gear Aid. Okay, stuff's pretty cool. It's a wrap. You wrap it around your rifle, what have you. Any gear you want. You got a couple rolls of these, and that's one way to kind of quickly camouflage your rifle or whatever it is that you want to camouflage. Um, I have my Pathfinder bag here. I like these a lot because you can have your Pathfinder quick set in here. Okay, the lid, you got the Pathfinder wide mouth canteen. You got your little stove in there. What else? I got aqua purification tablets. I know you guys think I'm crazy with it, but oh yeah, like these things are great. Look at, I mean, I got my big lighter, trusty big lighter in the wintertime. I mean, who wants to sit there and mess around with, you know, frozen fingers? Some fuel just blocks. Let's see here. Put this off to the side for now. We'll worry about zipping it up later. So that's that. Got my life tent. You know, I don't rely solely on one bag. All my bags that I have set up, and you're like, oh, you're gonna carry all those bags, but how are you gonna get them out? Well, we don't know what the shit the fan situation is gonna look like. I think whatever it is, we are going to have time. Unless it's nuclear, then you're kind of screwed. But you know, you're typically going to want to stay home. But like I said, you're finding yourself out there. You'll have time to. I personally believe you're going to have time to grab stuff. But here, let's get right into this bag here. Bear with me for 1 second. All right, here we go. German snow camo backpack, cold steel shovel. I pulled everything out of this bag. Here, I'm gonna rotate you guys. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Mucklucks. Those are the inserts. These are the wool inserts. These are the muckluck boots. Okay. Now these things do go pretty high up on the leg, so gaiters really aren't necessary for them. These are the inserts for them. All right. So we'll get this out of the way real quick. Move on to the next thing. You know, if you're in the Midwest, you might not always have powder. You're gonna have rain too in the winter. December can be pretty cold, wet, and miserable. So you're definitely gonna want another layer because these also have, from USGI Industries, the rain ponchos, they have the grommets, so you can fasten a shelter up if you had to with some 550 cordage. Get yourself a nice warm hat, trapper hat, trooper hat, whatever. Trapper hat. These here, you guys know me and my surplus. These are Belgian gaiters. I know it's kind of redundant. You have your mucklucks here, but hey, you never know, right? What if these fail and you got to use your boots, and you know you have these guys on hand, so that's cool. You got your trigger finger mitten inserts. These guys are really cool, the trigger finger mittens. I actually have those in another bag, but that's okay because they're wool inserts on those really cold nights. This guy right here is awesome. This here actually was, I believe it was a 50 cal gunners balaclava. Let's see here. Yep. I don't know if you guys could see that. Hood Combat Vehicle Crewman's. So I'm assuming maybe somebody on the 50, manning a 50, that's what they would use. Let's see. Right here. This is the German snow camo poncho. Okay. See how it kind of like mimics some evergreens, maybe some spruce or pine. You know, this stuff is great, you know, because it does allow you to have that pure white, and then it goes to that breakup right away. Let's see, moving right into it. Here I have the USMC. Let me see. These are the thermals. Frogs. Here we go. Perfect. They're a long sleeve. Okay. Put these down here. All right. Stuff is great. Fingerless mittens. These are wool. Okay, so you guys could see. Ferricing rod. I was going to see been heavily used. A couple pairs of those fingerless ones. I've just got a all white balaclava Under Armour. Nothing fancy, guys, really. These are just your basic thermal. These are not surplus issue. These I got off Amazon, believe it or not. I can tell you the brand. It is CQ, not CQB. Is it CQB? I don't know. I think it's CQR. Yeah, brand CQR. Got a wool hat here. Let's see here. Wool scarf. And you're going to want some kind of knife. Survival knife is a more knife. I just decided to add that. That's just redundancy there. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Sorry, guys. I literally ripped apart this bag to show you guys like my straight winter bag looks like. Got my left-hand shelter I showed you guys. My wool inserts. Okay, so the pack itself, as you can see, matches the poncho. And that's what I wanted. So, we got shelter, we got warmth, we've got abilities to stay dry, we've got water collection, abilities to be camouflaged, and then I've got, let's see here, it was the Pro Camp Tech. Was it in here? I had some Pro Camp Tech stuff I wanted to show you guys. It was pretty cool. Not sure what I did with it. But at any rate, oh, here it is. I think, no, that's not it. At any rate, it's just a fire starting material. But yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. As long as you cover your feet, you have shelter, you have a way to camouflage yourself, start fires, collect water, purify water, which, like I said, in the wintertime, I wouldn't stress the purification part of it. Like I said, you collect some snow on the ground in an area where, it's clean, fresh powder. You want to make sure it hasn't been trafficked heavily with game. Don't collect from a game trail, absolutely not. Don't recommend that. But like I said, safely, you can melt it with your armpit. If it's, you're in a situation where you need it right away, obviously. But yeah, it doesn't need to be anything extravagant. And as you see, mine's mostly just staying warm, because that's what it's about, staying warm. But I do have a fishing kit here. And if I had the fish, break open the ice, got the shovel, whatever the case may be, this is just a bag that has a bunch of winter gear in it, which I'd probably be wearing the majority of what was in that bag. So then this way I'll have room for the extras. But yeah, that's it. That's my winter loadout. That's really all it is. It wasn't nothing fancy. I think when I do an overnighter in February, I'm going to try to do a better job at filming up close everything that I'm going to be using. There's a lot of people out there asking me, like, I want to see you actually doing the stuff, and I will. I'll get out there and I'll show you guys. I'm going to be off work here very soon, next couple days, so it's just what it is. It's every year. It's nothing new. I'll be able to show you guys some stuff outside. But that is the winter loadout in a nutshell. All right, you guys, stay safe. Thumbs up.